everybody, and welcome to the channel Crossing the Spiritual Streams. My name is Tandra, and today we're doing a Tarot Pick-a-Pile card reading on your past life and how it may be affecting you now. We've all gone through many past lives, but in these particular readings, usually just one will come through, and then that's one that's kind of relevant at the moment that might be affecting you right now and what's happening. We've done this once or twice on the channel before, and it's worked out very well, so we decided to do it again. We do have 3 piles here to choose from. We have pile 1. It has the citrine stone. We have pile 2. It has an amethyst stone. And pile 3 has a black tourmaline stone. We will be giving you some time to reflect on these piles. And when you're ready, you can go directly to your pile or piles. You can pick more than one if you feel compelled to do so. That does happen sometimes. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you run across this and decide you want to watch it, there should be some messages relevant to you in the reading. I would love to take this opportunity to invite you all to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and also to share our unique URL with your friends and family. There's a link in the description that you can copy and paste, and if you put it out there on your different social media accounts, it'll give them an opportunity to check us out as well. Okay, guys, we're going to give you some time to reflect on these piles, and then there will be links in the description that will lead you directly to your pile when you're ready to go there. We'll see you there. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the citrine stone. It's one of my favorite stones. I really like that. We have our cards here that we're going to look at and get a look at what your past life might have been like, some things that might be affecting you now in your current life, and things that are going on there. We will be looking at our charms. We also have our oracle spheres. So basically, you can be thinking of a yes or no type of question that you would like to get an answer to, and we will get those as well. All right, so let's take a look here and see what we've got going on. Oh, we've got Galactic. We have the King of Wands. Oh, better move this forward a little bit. It can't be seen. All right. We got the Two of Cups. We got the Six of Swords. Okay. We got the Emperor. The Four of Pentacles. The Lover's card again. We got the Strength card. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles again. Wow. And then we also have, wow, the Hierophant. Okay. Well, what I'm getting from this reading, what really kind of came through very strongly, was this actually might be a past life from a different dimension than ours. The Galactic card kind of leads me to that. That can't really be seen up there, so we're going to move this card up there, move that down here. Basically, usually when the Galactic card shows up, it usually has something to do with star seeds, light workers, and people like that. Or just another dimension. There is a theory that we don't just incarnate on Earth and in these lives and in these past lives here, that we might actually incarnate as other beings on other galactic planes and other places. So with that being the case, I feel like you were very high up in that society. You were either a religious leader or a other type of leader, like a king sort of type of person, and that in that society, similar to Earth in prior time periods, you needed to go away and kind of go off, um, maybe to war or to protect um, your family or your lands or other things like that. So you needed to leave your family for a while um, to go off and do that. You did have a basically a co-ruler with you that was somebody that was very, you were very, very close to them. You guys basically shared, you know, all the responsibilities of everything. When you went off, this other person helped do the domestic duties of ruling and things like that. It was very hard on them when you left. And when you did leave, I feel like it might have, they had some financial troubles in the kingdom. The war was very costly. They had to spend a lot of money. Um, and it was very difficult for them, not only because they missed you and because it was really tough, but it was also very financially difficult for the realm. This person that you co-ruled with was basically your soulmate. I believe that they probably have reincarnated with you here on Earth. You might not have found them yet, and that may be part of the problem um, because you guys tend to miss each other on a very deep level when you're away from each other. So I feel like the hardships from this past life of them being, you guys being away from each other for a long period and having to rule separately, and some of the other things like that were, they're affecting you now in that I feel like you have this missing feeling. A couple things. You probably, I don't think you've met that your soulmate back up yet in this life. It's possible a few of you have. So if that resonates with you, you'll know I'm talking to you. But I think for the most part, you guys have not actually met up with this soulmate yet, and you kind of feel this longing or this missing, this like there's something missing in your life, and you're not sure what it is. And it's because this other person is so, you guys are so close and so intertwined in the way, like I said, you were co-rulers, you were equals in everything. It took a lot of strength to be able to be away from each other in that prior life. And so that feeling that you had then when you were away from each other is kind of the feeling you have now. You've needed to be a part that was part of your life purpose on this plane for this particular incarnation. You were meant to be apart for a while because you were so interdependent on each other. It was kind of important for you guys to kind of learn to be on your own 2 feet without each other. But even with that kind of being part of your purpose here, was to be able to spend some time apart. That prior feelings from that prior life is really hitting you kind of hard, and it's really making it difficult because you do feel like something is missing. You do feel like, um, you know, you want that other part of you, that missing link, to kind of meet up with you again. It is taking great strength to be able to stand on your own and be apart. But it was something that you kind of needed to learn. It was something you kind of needed to do. I do think since you have reincarnated here together on Earth that you will meet up again, and you will be able to spend some time together. It just hasn't happened yet, and that's why you've had that issue. I do feel like when you do meet up, you'll feel very, very, the word ecstatic kind of came to mind, but I also feel like you will feel a little bit more complete. You will feel a lot less lonely. You will feel more powerful. You'll feel more like you're able to basically rule your life. You're not necessarily a ruler or anything like that. In this life, although you might be a boss or another type of ruler in that sense, it's very possible, but I think this person will help complete you in that. Like, you will feel a lot more strong, a lot more confident, a lot more able to rule the people that you're ruling over. It could just be your family. It could be, like I said, a work situation. It could be something like that. But because you were a ruler in a past life and you had responsibilities and you had other things, it's very possible that you're also ruling at least a smaller type of group in this life as well. Let's take a look at our charms. Let's see if there's anything else from this past life that we can say or that might be affecting you in this life as well. Okay. Let's turn these over here. Let's see what we've got. We have lots of different cards here. We have the Two of Cups and the Two of Spades. So yes, it's, it's that two energy. It's that, having two of you, being able to complete two of you there. So yeah, that's definitely something that, I feel like you really need. We also have the Ten of Wands. So I feel like that completion energy might be coming up because you also have the Eight of Pentacles, or the Ace of Pentacles, sorry, coming up as well, and that's usually new beginnings and new starts. So I feel like, maybe that circle is starting to become complete, and maybe, that part of your journey is coming to an end where you can get back together. We also have the O, which in this case, to me, I saw it as actually a circle, which is a completion circle, and I feel like that completion energy might be coming into your life soon. So that's just kind of something I kind of felt there with that. We also have the Jack of Hearts, which I would see either as the Knight of Hearts or the Page of Hearts. And so once again, I see that as that person coming into your life fairly soon. I see that kind of energy. I'd say probably within the next 6 months or so. You should meet up with that person, or they might already be in your life and you just didn't realize that's who they were. But honestly, I do feel like you probably haven't met them yet in this life, and that you're going to do that. I do feel like you guys have some innovative ideas for this life, and I think that comes from your galactic background. I think you have some thoughts and ideas are kind of ahead of their time a little bit, and I think you might be able to start doing something with those a little bit more, especially when that person comes into your life. It's interesting how you have be true to you. So that was kind of the message of what you needed to kind of learn in this life, is be true to yourself, that you can stand on your own 2 feet, and even though this other part is missing from your life, that you've learned that you can deal with things on your own, you can be on your own, you can do that, and that the other person will just help make you feel happier and more complete, but that you don't need them to be able to make decisions. You don't need them to feel happy in your life. They just help enhance your life, if that's, if that makes sense to you there. You do have the key here. I always like it when keys show up in the reading because it shows that you can unlock new opportunities and new things like that. We did have the mermaid here as well, and this key reminds me of like a sailing ship. So it's very possible that water is important to you in this life. It's actually interesting because we just started a new series of daily readings, messages from Spirit. And I thought maybe in one of those readings, or maybe in another reading we had recently, oh, I know, I think it was The Next Love coming up. In one of those, I was noticing that water might be important to that. So that might resonate with you guys if you happen to see that reading in this one both. You know, it might be, that was a message for you guys specifically on that. We did have the saw here. So usually it means you need to prune something away from your life, get away from things that aren't really serving you very well, kind of prune those, some things out of your life that are no longer serving you, and then that way you can have new growth and new opportunities and new things come about, like with the Ace of Pentacles coming up here. So I think that's kind of important for you guys as well. Let's go ahead and do our Oracle spheres. And basically you ask a yes or no question that you would like to get an answer to. And then we have 4 different stands that you can choose from. We have blue, gold, bronze, and purple. And we're going to go ahead and get our answers on that. You think of a yes or no type of question, one that you can have a yes or no type of answer to. You pick your stand, and then we'll get our answers. Ooh, actually, start that all from the beginning here. All right. All right. Number 1, blue is a very likely. Number 2, gold is a not likely. Number 3, bronze is also a not likely. And number 4, purple is a yes. So number 1, blue is very likely. Number 2, gold is not likely. Number 3, bronze is not likely. And a number 4, purple is a yes. So there are your Oracle Sphere answers for this week's reading. Okay, guys, I hope you had some messages that were useful to you in this. And remember to check out our other videos on the channel. We started a new series recently. Daily messages from Spirit. They're quick little readings that come about, so you might check those out. Plus, we do put out other timeless readings every week, so you might take a look at some of those. There might be some out there that have some good messages for you. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Leave us comments in the comment section and give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Also, please remember to share the channel with your friends and family. We have a unique URL. There is a link in the description that you can copy and paste and give out to those guys for them to give a chance to check us out too. Okay, guys, we look forward to seeing you again in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the amethyst stone here. Remember, this reading is on your past life, a particular past life, and how it may be affecting you now and how it might be coming up. We do have our cards here. We're also going to look at our charms here in a little bit, as well as our oracle spheres. So you could be thinking of a yes or no type of question that you can get an answer to. So let's go and find out what your past life was like and how it might be affecting you now. All right, we got orphan. Interesting. I forget those hologrammy ones don't look so good up there. We got the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. The Page of Swords. The Empress. Wow. The Seven of Pentacles. The Fool card. We got the Five of Cups. The Hanged Man. Okay, and also we've got the Hermit card. Okay. Well, with the Orphan card showing up, I do feel like in a past life you were orphaned at a young age, but not too young. I'm thinking, we're not talking a baby. I'm thinking more like maybe 8 years old, 9 years old. And orphans in prior time periods often had a very rough time of it. Well, they still do, actually, but they they usually are quite alone. Like they feel very lonely, even if they have, friends in the orphanage or other things like that. Um, they sometimes have to take care of themselves for quite a while and live on the streets and things like that. I do feel like, however, this is very interesting. I feel like in this past life, you were able to go out probably in your teens. I'm thinking somewhere around 15, 16 years old. Like I think you might have lived some time in an orphanage from about 8, 9 years old to about 15, 16, somewhere in there. So 7, 8 years you were in an orphanage, which was kind of rough for you and kind of tough. It was a very lonely time. But you were a very strong person. It was very cool because you went out on your own, um, and you decided to make your own way. You decided to see what the world had to offer. You went out and um, started working. You found ways to make some money. Um, you actually traveled quite a bit. I actually get the idea that you traveled a lot during this lifetime. I don't really think you went across any kind of water or oceans, though. I think you traveled mostly by land, but I think you traveled quite a bit. Um, and I think you had some hard times along the way, but I do feel like you were able to make some really good decisions. And you actually, by the time you hit like your 30s, early 30s or whatever, you actually were doing very well for yourself. You were able to settle down. You had quite a bit of money. Um, you had a pretty decent life. I'm not sure though. Here's the part that was kind of odd. I don't think you ever got married or had a family. I think you were always kind of a loner. I think you were always kind of on your own and by yourself. Um, you were self-made. Like I said, you kind of had to, go out on your own. You had to kind of find your own way. So I think in this life, it's affecting you in some ways because I think you have trouble um, getting into relationships and kind of making them stick. I don't think you trust people very well, or you feel like, I think you always have that feeling of being alone. I think that's kind of affecting you now, because you had that life where you had to rely on yourself and you had to be on your own, and you were a very strong person and able to do so and did very well for yourself. But I think it's affecting you now because you have trouble letting other people into your life. You have trouble um, not being alone. You have trouble uh, with that. And I think that's something that would be important to you in this life. Is it could be very important for you to actually um, get into a relationship and be with other people. I do think that is missed opportunities that you're not seeing. Um, I do think that there are people out there who could enhance your life and could bring more to your life than what you already have. I think, and I don't even necessarily mean romantic relationships by any means, I just mean relationships in general. I think you have trouble forming very close relationships with most people. Um, you might have some people on the periphery that you might call friends, but you may not see them that much. You may not confide a lot in them. You may not hang out with them a lot or spend a lot of time with them. Or you may just have coworkers or other people you kind of see from that point of view. But as far as really deep relationships, ones that you spend quality time with and maybe tell secrets to or have that kind of relationship, I think you guys have some trouble with that. You may have one person that you sort of do that with, but even that person, I think you kind of keep at arm's length a little bit, even if you have that kind of relationship. And I think if you can kind of let other people in, I think it would enhance your life somewhat. I think it would help make you feel just a little bit more, just give you more oomph to your life, basically. Give you a little bit more than what you're already experiencing. I do feel like you guys are such strong people, and you are so self-reliant and can do so much on your own, that you don't realize the benefit of having these other people in your life could mean for you. I don't think you realize that. I think you're like, hey, I'm going along pretty good. Everything's really great. And you probably are doing pretty well. But honestly, I think if you could uh, get into relationships with people a little bit more strongly than what you already do, I feel like that would probably enhance your life in ways that you're not even aware of, or that, could do that for you. Okay. Also, another thing is, because this past life you did so well, I'm not so sure that I think you feel like you can do really well, but I'm not sure you actually have done so yet. Um, you do have the skills to do so, so do rely on that. Do realize that you do already have the skills to do very well in this life, because you've been able to do it in past lives, and you might not have utilized all those skills yet to be able to do very well in this life. That's something that you also may not have tapped into quite as much as you could have yet. So just kind of let you guys be aware of that. Let's move on to our charms, and let's see what else it might have to say about your past life here. Okay. Okay, we have number 11. That's a really magical number. And I think it just kind of goes to show about how self-reliant you are, and how much of a builder and mover and shaker and stuff you are. So that's pretty cool. We do have the Five of Spades, however, which is the Five of Swords. That's somewhat of a conflict kind of card, and so there might be some conflicts that, this might have something to do with the relationships we were talking about. You might actually have more conflicts with people than you do close relationships, because we also have the Two of Wands. To me, that kind of shows that going out on a journey, you guys might still have that restlessness in your life. You might still feel that wanderlust where you want to get out and travel quite a bit and do other things. I feel like that's a possibility. I also see that you guys are very innovative people, and I think that's carryover from a past life as well, because you were able to do very well for yourself, and make some money and do those other things. And I feel like that innovation and other things you were able to utilize in that life is carried over into this life. I feel like you still have that available to you, so that's something for you to think about. I also think you guys are kind of stubborn. We have a dog bone here, and another thing, honestly, with this as well, is I do feel like you guys might have close relationships with an animal, because that might have been, like a dog, because dogs are really good traveling companions, or it's possible it's a cat now. But I feel like even though you guys might not have super close relationships with people, you might have a very close relationship with an animal, because I think in your past life you might have had that kind of relationship, and so you might have utilized that now. And if you haven't, that might be something for you to consider, because I do think that closeness is something that would be really good for you. We do have some initials here, or letters to make words. We have WAN. Those could be initials. Those could be beginnings of words. I also think of the word wand, which to me is, kind of, I think of emaciation, or I think of strain or stress. And so I feel like maybe you guys might be under some strain or stress, or some things like that. And so I think that that might be something for you to work on in this lifetime. We also have the rocking horse, which shows, children might be important for you in this lifetime. Because we also have a family's love is forever. And so maybe that is a message to you that maybe having a family would be something very important to you. Remember, if you were orphaned in this past life, family could be extremely important to you because you didn't have one in that prior life. And so your family could be very important to you in this life. And so that's just kind of, something, if you haven't already had a family of your own, or if you're not really close to your family, or maybe you really are, that's very possible that your family might mean everything to you because of this past life. And that's a good thing, by the way. And even though I was talking about how you might not have very close friendships and other things, it is very possible that your family, your parents, your siblings, if you have any of those, or if you've created a family in this lifetime, those could be very important people to you and mean a lot to you. But once again, I still feel like you kind of hold the people in your life, even if your family is very important to you, even if they mean the world, you might still hold them at arm's length a little bit. And I kind of resonate with that a little bit because I kind of do that with my family. My family means everything to me, but I do tend to hold them at arm's length slightly. For instance, my brothers live out in Las Vegas, and I haven't seen them very much over the last 30 years. And even though they mean a lot to me and I care very deeply for them, I also tend to go, okay, well, they're way out there. I've got other things going on. I don't, think about them a ton. They kind of fleet in my mind, but, we're not really close. We don't talk all the time, that kind of thing. But yet I still care about them very, very, very deeply. So I might kind of, that might resonate with you. That might be something that happens in your life as well. That you have family, you really care about them, but you still kind of maybe keep them at arm's length just a little bit. And so that's a possibility for you guys as well. Okay, let's go ahead and go on to our oracle spheres, and let's see what messages you might get from that. You think of a yes or no type of question that you would like to get an answer to, and then we have 4 different stands. We have blue, gold, bronze, and purple. You pick which stand you would like to get your answers, and then we'll go through and we'll get our answers. All right, the number 1 blue is a not now. The number 2 gold is a very likely. Number 3 bronze is a not now. And a number 4 purple is a yes. Okay, so number 1 blue is a not now. Number 2 gold is a very likely. Number 3 bronze is a not now. And then the number 4 purple is a yes. So there's your oracle sphere answers for this week's reading. I hope there were some messages here that were useful to you guys. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up and leave us comments in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. That really helps the channel out a lot, and we really appreciate it when you guys do that. Also, if you hit the bell icon, you can be notified of future videos when they come out. Do check out the other videos on the channel. We just started a new series, our daily messages from Spirit. You might check those out, as well as we still are putting out our weekly videos as well. Also, we have over 100 other timeless tarot readings on the channel on lots of different topics, so you might check those out and pick some of those to watch. Please remember to share the channel with your friends and family. We have a unique YouTube URL. It is in the description. You can copy and paste it and put it out there for your friends and family to check us out. We really appreciate that too. All right, guys, we look forward to seeing you in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3. Those of you that chose the black tourmaline stone, we're going to put that over here. Remember, this is on a prior past life that you had and how it might be affecting you now. We also have our charms we're going to be looking at, as well as our oracle spheres. So you could be thinking of your yes or no type of question that you might get an answer to. So let's see what your past life was like. Ooh, angels. Okay. All right, we have the Magician. Yep, that goes right along with that. We have the King of Swords. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Yep, yep, yep. The Ace of Swords. We have the Queen of Wands. For sure, for sure. We have the Three of Pentacles. The Nine of Swords. We have the Three of Wands. Goodness. Okay. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. Okay. I feel like in a past life, you had a very creative energy. You were probably either a sculptor or a painter or some sort of thing like that. But you also had, along with you kind of were troubled a little bit because you had a lot of intuition. I think you might have had visions of maybe ghosts or angels or other things like that. So you had this really artistic nature, but you also had this, like I said, where you could get visions. You had a connection to spirit. You possibly could see ghosts. It really was hard on you. You had a very, very troubled life because you didn't understand your visions or your, like I said, it's possible you saw ghosts, or you might have just had, dreams or other visions of the future or other things like that. And it was very hard on you because you didn't understand these powers and these abilities that you had. It you were able to utilize it in your creative life because there's a fine line. They sometimes say between creativity and insanity. Sometimes artists are semi-insane, and I don't think you were insane in the prior life, but I do think you were very deeply troubled. I think you had a lot of issues dealing with the visions and the other things that you had. I think they placed a really heavy burden on you. I think you created beautiful works of art, but I think a lot of times you went through phases in your life where you couldn't create anything. You were very depressed. You were having issues that way. So I felt like that was something that was very difficult for you. I think sometimes you would have a patron or somebody like that who might help pay for you, but then I think you had trouble completing your work sometimes because of these other issues getting in your way. And so because of that, your patrons would drop you, because you wouldn't, do what they needed or what they wanted. So financially, I think you had some issues and some problems because you had trouble making a living off of your artwork because of these other problems that you had. How this might be affecting you now is I think you still have the ability to have a deep connection with spirit. I think you might still be able to have visions or dreams or other things like that. You might be able to talk to spirits or see spirits, or you might have been able to as a child and you might have blocked that out. Because you are denying that type of connection, because you denied it in a past life because you didn't understand it, you didn't know what to do about it. And I think in this life you've probably done the same thing, probably once again because you didn't understand what was happening. It's possible as a child people said, oh, that isn't right, this isn't, you can't be doing that, or it's all in your imagination or other things like that. You might have been denying that. And I think it's been kind of hard on you because it's part of who you are. It's part of what you can do. And I think if you can tap into those things, if you can go ahead and be a little bit more free with your abilities that you have, with your connection with spirit, your possible uh, being able to tell a little bit of the future or other things. If you start tapping into that, and don't be afraid of it, um, I think that that might help make you feel more fulfilled. I think it might help round out your life a little bit. I think it might help keep you from um, not completing the task that you want to do. I think you still have a problem completing certain tasks in your life. I think you start projects that you're interested in and then you kind of just let them go. You lose interest or you forget. This is a common Gemini trait. So it's very possible you guys have Gemini very deeply in your chart. It might be part of your sun, moon, or rising sign. Because Geminis tend to do that a lot, where they're interested in many, many different things, and they get started on stuff, and then they lose interest, and they do other stuff. I think that might be something that's still carried over from a prior life. I still think that maybe that is happening now in your life. I think being able to realize that this is an issue, and I do think that tapping into your creative abilities and your spiritual abilities, I think tapping into those and embracing those will help you round out your life a little bit more. I think it'll help you be able to um, try to think of how I want to put it, but basically, I think it will help you um, complete this life a little bit better. Improve your life, I guess, is how I want to say it. Your guardian angels and other people are always there with you, and they're willing to help you if you ask for it. So that is something that, you know, if you're willing to embrace this part of your life and what you can do, if you're willing to acknowledge it, they're there for you and they'll help you out. Um, and I think it will help you be a lot more fulfilled. I think it'll help you manifest some of the things in life that you would like to see happen. I do think you have that ability to do that if you can tap into your ability to connect with spirit. So I think that that's something for you to deeply consider because I think that that will help you out quite a bit. Let's go ahead and look at our charms and then our oracle spheres, and we'll see if there's anything else that might be of use to you on this. Okay. Ooh. A couple of different things here. Be true to you. That's interesting. It showed up in a couple of different readings. So once again, I think that that's the message of be true to who you are. Don't tamp down who you are to please other people or to, conform with society or anything like that. Be who you are. Go ahead and let that person out. Go ahead and do that. Um, we do have the luxury card here, and I do feel like that will help you on your journey, being who you are. We do have the love here. So, and we also have the heart kitty. I see cats as helping with your intuition and other things. I also think you guys have a very deep connection with animals. Um, I think they might help you connect with spirit, honestly. I'm not sure about how to use familiars or other things like that. I mean, I love animals and I have a few, but I don't use them in that way. But I think that might be something that you might look into and do because I think that might be a way for you to tap into your abilities is through the animals in your life. So that might be something for you to think about as well. Like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with it myself or how that works, but you might look into that. Um, we also have the O. That could be an initial if it means something specific to you. I usually let people kind of do that with the letters themselves unless something comes to mind for me. This is interesting. If you resonated with Pile 1 at all, A couple of the same charms showed up in pile 1, so you might go back and look at that. I don't know if there'd be any messages there that might be there for you, but might be worth it if you felt like you weren't sure which pile to look at. And pile 1 resonated with you at all. That's, the only thing I got from that. Let's go ahead and look at our oracle spheres. This is where you think of your yes or no type of question, a question that has a yes or no type of answer to it, and then you pick which stand you would like your answer to appear on. We have blue, gold, bronze, and purple today. And we'll go out and we'll get our answers. The number 1 blue is a not now. Number 2 gold is a not sure. Number 3 bronze. Is a no. And a number 4 purple is a yes. Okay, so number 1 blue is a not now. Number 2 gold is a not sure. Number 3 bronze is a no. And a number 4 purple is a yes. So there's your oracle sphere answers for this week's reading. All right, guys, please remember to give the video a thumbs up and leave us comments in the comments section. I appreciate those greatly. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And if you hit the bell icon, you can be notified of future videos when they come out. We did start a new series of videos this last week, Daily Messages from Spirit. You might check those out, see what you think about those. Also, if you can share the channel with your friends and family, we have a unique URL. It's in the description. If you copy and paste that link over to your social media accounts and give other people an opportunity to check out our channel, we very much appreciate that. Do check out our other videos, though. We have lots of timeless tarot readings on lots of topics, and they might be of use to you. So please check those out if you get a chance. All right, guys, we look forward to seeing you in future videos, and may the stars guide your path.